Hi everyone, it's Natalia, and I love making nails for my friends, but today I have a big old box that I ordered from Sweetie Nail Supply on their Black Friday sale, and I got some goodies that I would like to share with you. So let's crack on into this. I ordered this, it's probably about a week to get here, it wasn't too bad. And I initially ordered this because I really needed to get some new top coat. I was like completely out. And then just the shopping madness took me. So let's see what we got in here. We gotta take this out, make sure there's no identifying info. Here's a little postcard that they included. Very cute. So I did get two collections, which we will get into later. The Show Me Korea Sera collection, very cute. This is Sailor Moon themed. And I got the Urban Mood collection, which I did not realize came with like a bunch of powders and charms and stuff, which was a super huge surprise. That was very exciting to find out. Did not know it came with those. And then I ordered just some stuff that I needed. So I ordered the Jello 1 Kill Remover because I still have a ton of the base coat, but none of the remover left. Typical. So I ordered that, and that was 25 bucks. Then I got my 2 bottles of Crazy Top that I was completely out of. So we got the Soft, which is the super non-viscous version, and then the Standard, and those were both $52 a piece for the large container, the standard ones. And finally, y'all, I got some rhinestone glue. I got the Jinbei Ivy Fix rhinestone gel, it comes in a 40-gram jar, which was also $52. So was that. So the first collection I got was the Show Me Korea Sera collection. It was $65 on sale. I did not need this collection at all, but the glitters and the sale price really did call to me. The packaging, so cute. Let's crack into here. So it comes with a little swatch card here, a little Luna on it, a little Sailor Moon situation. Very cute. And then it comes with 6 super glittery glitters, which we are going to swatch. I need to apologize for how crusty my nails look today when we get into swatching. I'm having some allergic reactions, not to gel stuff, just I got really bad psoriasis and stuff, so ignore the state of my nails. But let's get into swatching these. So here's the first one, which is QS01. They really put the jar lids on quite nice and tight. As you can see, this stuff is packed with glitter. Just absolutely full of it. So let's put this on a little swatch here. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. It looks so much nicer than it does on video, I swear. Next, we got the next one, which is 02, which is like a nice gold situation. There's a few like pink reflectives in it too. It's really quite beautiful in person. This goes on very smoothly. I will admit my office was pretty cold, so I think it's probably a little thicker than normal. Here's number 3. This one's like a black, red, and gold situation. There's like a few, like I'd say blue reflects in it. It's very dimensional. It's very nice. Gorgeous. I really don't have that many glitters in my collection, so this does work very nicely, especially with holiday nails coming up. Here we've got 04. This one's like a black and purple and blue with like some green sort of. It's hard to explain how beautiful these are, like, because in person they look so much nicer than they do on camera. I think I would recommend, though, like if you're doing these, to put these over like a black or purple or base for a more full coverage look. Like a dark base. So here is number 5. This is another gold one. Gosh, that's beautiful. The texture is thicker, like it's thick like a glitter gel tends to be. but it goes on very smoothly. Look at this, beautiful. And then finally, number 6, which is sort of like a pale silver and gold mix situation. Very pretty. Gorgeous, gorgeous. This is like a really nice collection. I'm not really sure what besides the packaging makes it Sailor Moon, but it is very nice. I'm gonna use it a lot, I think. Oh, absolutely stunning. Stunning glitters. Beautiful. So next up, we're going to go into the Jello Urban Mood collection. It's got a little swatch card on the back. Oh, all the gels fell out. Classic, classic. Let's put those back in. So this comes with 6 sheer syrup gels and 3 powders and 2 things of charms. Let's get into these. Give me a second here. I often struggle with packaging, but here we go. So we have a sort of like a flaky powder. We have just a regular like pearlescent, iridescent powder. And then we've got like a glitter. I haven't quite figured out if this is another powder, if it's meant to be a powder, or if it's like a mix-in glitter situation. But they're very gorgeous, much prettier than they show on camera. And all of these gels are non-wipe, so you can use it directly on the gel after curing them. We also got some crystals, so of varying sizes and shapes. Very nice. They're very nice quality. Again, I didn't realize that this came with all of these, so this was a huge surprise. And finally, we've got the little thing of charms. So there's like some little metal charms, some crystal clusters, a little chain. Very good. Like this whole set was $90. This feels extremely worth the money for what you get, depending on how the gels perform. We got like these little bow charms with crystals in them. It's absolutely stunning stuff, like beautiful little charms. So nice. Let's put this back in and let's check out these gels. So first up we got JJ43, which is like a milky white, but it's not like it's like a warm toned white. They go on extremely smoothly and they self-level very nicely. I'm only showing putting 1 coat on, but on the swatch cards, they will have 2 coats. This is number 44. This is like a peachy tone, I would say, like a peachy pink situation. They're pretty sheer on first coat, but the second coat really, like, they're very buildable. I really like these quite a bit. Looking good. We got 45. This is getting more towards the mid-tone pink, I would say, like a dusty pink situation. I was really missing some like buildable neutrals and stuff, so this is really nice. Next up we got 46. This is like a cooler tone pink. So not just the warm tones, we got a little cool tone pink in there as well. Very nice. And then we have a green, like a cool green. Almost like it's a very blue leaning green. I think it'll be very nice for like a subtle jade vibe to it. And then finally we've got this purpley blue, which I think they call grace blue, but it's definitely like a lavender purple, like cool toned purple. The texture is very smooth. It self-levels really nicely. I always like the Jello stuff, so this is no mistake. So I put two layers on these swatchkas and then stuck it on the swatch card. Do y'all do your swatch, like do swatch cards when you buy a set? Let me know. This is the set. It's very nice. I'm very happy with it. I also needed to check out. They say you can do the powder on them. Can you? So what I'm doing here is I'm going to put 2 coats of the white, the off-white, And then I'm going to cure it for the full 60 seconds. So after 2 coats, let's see if the powder goes on smoothly or if it's one that you should do for 30 seconds. I figured I should probably try this out to help y'all make decisions if you're looking for it for the, you know, the chrome aspect of it. And I am very happy to report that with a full 60-second cure, this chrome powder goes on so smooth, y'all. I'm using the powder that came with the kit, but I've tried it with other powders and they do work, but it goes on absolutely beautifully. Stunning work. So I'm making myself a set of nails. Normally, as I say, I normally make stuff for my friends, but I need some nails. I got to cover these crusty things. Normally I would be making longer nails, but I am babysitting and she wanted to do arts and crafts. So I decided to do short nails for that. So we're going to be using the black glitter. I'm going to be doing an accent nail with that. So we're going to be doing 2 coats of that from the Sera collection from Show Me Korea. We'll do 2 coats of the black. So we're doing the first one on here. And then we're going to be using the pink, this 46, to do the rest of the nails. This is going to be a really simple set. I'm not doing anything complicated with these. These are mostly just to cover up my sad psoriasis crust nails. So we're going to do 1 coat of all those and put it in for a full cure. So we're going in for a 2nd coat. I found the glitter to be extremely buildable. It looks really nice. So we're going to do a 2nd coat of everything to have a bit more coverage. Though they would look very nice if you wanted like the sheer nail situation going. But I wanted a little bit more coverage. And once you got those, I turn them up to let them self-level towards the middle. I find that the glitter does pool a little at the edges, so turn it over before fully curing. And now I'm going to use the powder that it comes with, the non-flaky powder, just the regular powder, to powder up all the nails. Not all the non-accent nails. I'm just putting that on. Pat, pat, pat. Forgetting to be in frame, a classic situation. And once you've got the chrome patted on, use the clean side of your sponge to just wipe it all off and burnish it in. And look how nice that looks. So pearlescent and pretty. Oh, I love it. Now I want to file around the edges because that'll help the top coat gel stick because it doesn't like sticking to chrome. So you want to file the edges so that it'll stick. So file, brush them off. And then I'm going to seal everything in with my old jar of the top of the Jinbei Crazy Top Soft. Put that in for a full cure. All right. So next time, I want to do a little bit of chrome, isolated chrome. So I'm using the Mode Matte Gel, which I find is really great for isolated chrome. And I am covering the accent nail in that. Cure, fully cure, and then wipe with some isopropyl alcohol. Now I'm just pulling out some Jello JC71. It's just like an off-white as a base for because I just wanted a base for using the sheer because you can't really use the sheer over just the black glitter. So here I'm going to do a little oval in the center of the nail as sort of a base for the accent I'm going to be doing here. This is the easiest way I've found to do little ovals. Is you just make like a little cross for where you want it to end and then just connect them all and fill it in using a liner brush. Perfect. Stick that in for a full cure. Next, I'm going to be taking the 48, the purple color, And we're just going to be putting a layer of that over our base for a little purple background to what we're getting up to. So you're just going to cover up the white backdrop with some purple. Once you got that, fully cure. Next, I'm going to take the flaky, I just really wanted to use a lot of things that came with it, so I'm getting the flaky powder, and I'm going to rub it in to the purple background here. Just tapping it in and then rubbing it on. As you can see, that Made mode really, like, stuff does not stick to it. Give it a little brushy brush. And we are good to go. So we're going to seal that in. And send it in for a full cure. And then we're going to put some charms on these nails. But before we do the charms on the nails, I realized we need a little bit more glitter. So I'm going to do a little bit of a glitter ombre with like the silver gel from the Sera collection. So I'm just putting it on the tips of the nails, and then I'm going to feather it down a little bit just to ombre it in. Doing glitter ombres is so much easier than color ombres because you don't really have to be that precise. I'm just taking a little check brush here and then just feathering it down a little bit so it doesn't have quite a stark end line. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Easy peasy. I'm wiping it off between in case there's like, don't want big chunks of glitter messing up your drag down. Smooth anything out. Because glitter sometimes does like stick up a bit, so you can just smooth it or remove larger chunks if they're not quite fitting your vision. Okay, beautiful. And then once you've got this ombre the way you like, stick it back under the lamp for a full cure. All right, now let's put some charms on it. So I was just going to pick a few little charms here and there, but we're going to start with the chain. So what my thought was, I wanted to do like around like a little chain border using the new Ivy Fix gel that I got. Finally, the war is over. I have actual rhinestone gel. We're going to put a chain around the little circle that we made. This chain was so easy to work with. I know that what you're about to see will make it seem like this chain wasn't easy to work with, but it actually was. So you're just going to I'm just semi-incompetent. You're going to figure out how much chain you need, approximately, and then using some nippers, you can just cut off the length. As you can see, I struggle, but I struggle at all things, so it's fine. So nip off what you need, or try again. Believe in your dreams is all I gotta say. And then once you've got it nipped off, you just futz it into place. As you can see, it really like blended well. So it seemed more like they were seed beads. I'm gonna flash cure this into place because we will be adding more charms. So they had these, I wanted to do like just sort of like little mini accents on the thumb and the middle finger. They had like really cute little rhinestones in this set that I wanted to use. You can see, so just like they had some basic like silver rhinestones, and then they had like shaped ones. So I used like a little teardrop shape here. And I did like a little mini cluster here, which I thought looked very cute along the cuticle line. And then once you didn't futz it all into place the way that looks nice to you, and then once you do, make sure to fill in any gaps just so that it's all nicely in there. We are going to top coat, so don't worry, that's coming. It's coming next. And then we're going to flash cure that into place. Now I wanted to do the same on the thumb, but I wanted to use, they had these like little pre-made clusters. Now, I initially started out with quite a large one, as you can see here, that if this had been a longer nail, I think this would have worked out really nicely. And I just wanted to add like a few of the little regular rhinestones. But then I realized that looked at the length, since I was doing a short nail instead of like my usual medium length, it was too much. It just looked too much. So I ended up removing it. And they had little smaller clusters of the same type. And I put one of those in, and that was much more reasonable for the length. It looked so much more balanced. So I went with a little cluster. And then once you've got that all in place, flash cure it just so that it doesn't move, and then stick it in for a full cure. Now, finally, I wanted to stick one of these little bows on the little accent nail. Oop, and then my ability to drop things is just incredible. So I'm sticking this right in the center. So that was a little frame that I was making for this little bow cluster. I think it turned out looking very cute. These might be on again, the length of the nail, since I don't normally make short nails for myself. But get that it may be a little big for that, but cure it into place. And finally, we're just going to top coat because these nails are done. I'm using the freshly opened Crazy Top Standard, getting art, which incredibly, I managed to get a cat hair already. Long-haired cats, am I right? So we're gonna just cover everything. Now, when you're doing these, be careful not to you want to go in between the rhinestones, but you want to not cover directly over the rhinestones, especially faceted ones, because they will, not look as good. They lose sort of their facet look. But if that's what you're going for, go nuts. But I do like to go over any metal parts on things because those can tarnish with hand washing and that sort of thing. But make sure to fill in any gaps because any gaps will get your hair caught in them. So this one especially, I'm going over all the metal parts and filling in any gaps that I find so that these are very comfortable and easy to wear. And they were incredibly comfortable and easy to wear and are. They still exist. They're filling all this in. And I tend to fill in if there's like this one, like I put some gel inside like the bow that doesn't have like that there's like a gap because I don't want dirt getting stuck in there. And so filling it up with some clear gel will prevent that. So I turn it over so to let things pool towards the center of the nail, not the edges, and then get in for a full cure. And those are the nails that I made. Anyway, thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I'm sorry there was no video last week. I was and continue to be extremely sick. But this was the haul I got and I wanted to share with y'all. Are you getting some little, Black Friday nail hauls? Let me know down in the comments. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe as, is the YouTube way. And I hope you have a fantastic week. I will see you next time with more nails for my friends. Bye.